Hey mathematicians, I'm going to share a game with you today that we practiced in our classroom. And as you can see, I have selected some cards out of the deck. And there's some things you might notice about these cards. What's something you notice about all those cards? They all have hearts. They're all red. They all have numbers. Except for this guy here. He doesn't have a number. What does he have? A, that's right. He has a letter A. But when we're thinking about these cards as math cards, we're going to think of the letter A as, that's right, 1. So we're going to think of him as a 1 today. So today I'm going to be using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards out of the deck. These are all number cards. I don't have any of the face cards. The face cards are the cards that have a queen, a king, a jack, or maybe a joker on them. You're only going to need these cards for today's activity. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these cards and I'm going to mix them up just a little bit to make it more of a game. And then I'm going to start placing the cards one at a time. And you notice that I'm hiding the cards. I don't want to know what is on the cards just yet. Okay, and that's going to be my top row. And how many do I have in my top row? 5. Got 5 in my top row. And now I'm going to start building my second row. And how many do I use in my second row? Yep, I used 5 there too. So when you look at those cards together, you might start noticing they remind you of something you may have seen in your math class. Can you think of what that might be? Yeah, a 10 frame. This looks a little bit like a 10 frame. It has 5 boxes on the top and 5 boxes on the bottom. And we're going to use this to help us figure out a fun game that you can play at home if you have cards like this. So the first thing you need to do is choose one of the cards to start with. So I flipped over a card and I look at the card and I have to figure out what is the card. I can look at the number on the card, or if I need to, I can count the large hearts on the card to figure out how many. And that one's a 10, that's right. So I have to think about, where does a 10 go on a 10 frame? Now I might have to think about, how could I figure that out? Yeah, sure, I could figure it out by counting and figuring out where 10 goes. So I could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I can see that this is the spot for my 10th card. So I'm going to do a little switcheroo, and then I'm going to take a peek at the next card. And my next card is a 6. So now I have to figure out where a 6 would go. And again, I can think about where the 6 would go by counting. Or I can just think about, when I see a 10 frame, where is a 6? That's right, right here. So I'm going to do another switcheroo. I'm going to put the 6 here. And then I'm going to take a look at my next card. I got an 8. So now, I can think about where the 8 goes by thinking about the 6. If a 6 goes here, what would come next? 7, and then after 7, 8, that's right. So 8 would go here. And I don't have another card to use, so I can just choose one. I'll choose this one. And this one is, a 3. So now I have to think about where a 3 would go. And I can count to figure that out. Or I might just know that is where a 3 goes on a 10 frame. And then I'm going to take a look at my next card. I got a 2. And I remember that 2 comes before 3, so my 2 must go right there. Well, since I don't have another card, I need to choose one. I'll choose this one. And I'm going to take a look at that card. A 7. So I might remember some other cards I played a minute ago that can help me to know where the 7 goes. That's right. It's after 6 and before 8. So my 7 will go there. And now I have a new card to place. A 9. I can think about where that card goes because I can remember some of those other cards that I've placed. And I can remember that 9 comes after 8 and before 10. Oh, remember at the beginning of the game we said, even though it says A, we're going to remember that an A in a math game means 1. That's right. It means a 1. So we're going to remember, where does a 1 go on a 10 frame? Ooh, and I can do some back counting this time. 3, 2, 1. 1 is going to be the first card on my 10 frame. And then I have to check what's the new card I chose. A 5, that's right. So now I have to remember where 5 goes. I might do that by counting, or I might just remember that 5 is at the end of the top of a 10 frame on the top. Let's see if you're a real mathematician. Can you guess what is my last number? Let's see. Did you guess it? 4, that's right. And look, isn't that funny? He was already in the spot he needed to be in. And then after I do that, I can say my numbers. I can start here and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I can even practice counting back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Until next time.